on CityCast Nashville. It's our final Friday news roundup of the year, and we are ending it with a bang. I'm joined by our executive producer, Whitney Pasterek, and WNXP's Celia Gregory to talk about the latest on downtown surveillance. The mayor said what about affordable housing, the Nashville albums of the year, and whether or not dating in Nashville is a dumpster fire. It's Friday, December 19th. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson, and this is what Nashville's talking about. On Tuesday night, at their final meeting of the year, Metro Council squeaked out another deferral of the Memorandum of Understanding between Metro and the Nashville Downtown Partnership that would allow NDP to use $15 million in state grant funding to purchase, among other things, an armored SWAT vehicle and mass surveillance technology. The discussion will continue at their next council meeting on January 20th. But Whitney, how are the vibes and what's the mayor's office saying?
The vibes are rancid, Marie.
Is that what that smell is?
Yeah. I do want to point out that Councilmember Jacob Coupin from downtown, I think, really surprised the mayor's office when he came out in favor of this deferral. He said on the floor, as someone who works hard on downtown safety, I didn't know that this was happening and I wasn't part of this conversation. And again, money for downtown safety is important, but every page I turn on this thing, it gets more convoluted and complicated. Coupin has been a staunch supporter of Nashville Downtown Partnership, of pretty much anything that downtown corporations and the mayor's office wanted to do. So I think that this has really, I don't want to say upset the mayor's office, but I don't think they saw it coming. And then I just want to give a shout out to Councilmember Sandra Sepulveda. She had a late filed amendment that would have cut these programs called LeoSite and Fivecast from the MOU. This is software that enables law enforcement to share certain data. This is where we get into like real FUSIS territory. On the floor, she said something that made my little ears go up. She said that she'd heard rumors that the Nashville Downtown Partnership might not even bring back the MOU in January and that they might end up doing whatever they want. She said this makes them not a good partner. Remember, they already have the money, right? So they could do whatever they want. And she continued to say that it was not a good idea to go around the council on this. And she hopes that they come to the table with good faith dialogue, because if that does not occur, she said, then the remainder of my term will be to make sure that we have that money used in other ways and that the Downtown Partnership is someone we do not do business with.
Yikes.
Celia, I am very interested on your take on all this. As a member of the Nashville music community, we know that some venue owners have been very critical of this MOU. How do you, as a downtown-going music fan, feel about surveillance and policing?
Yeah, I will say, I think so much about our artistic community and how diverse it is, and that's why Nashville's still special. And it's about serving all Nashvillians, especially those making a living, through performance, through hospitality, like the beating heart of our city. I don't want people to be left out of that because there's this overarching safety concern, which of course can lead to overreach. Like when you just said that about an armored vehicle, I'm like, oh, that's all we wanted for Christmas, though. Like, what are the things that actually make us feel safe downtown, whether we're just patronizing businesses or we're working in them and making a living like creative folks do? So as a citizen, I too worry about the negative repercussions of especially the software piece, like how is this going to be used instead of just proactively keeping us safe? And then what?
Right. I thought that my fellow Metro Human Relations Commissioner, Darren Johnson, gave a really wonderful convocation at the meeting on Tuesday. And it was all about the definition of being seen and sort of the difference between watch out, like if you see something, say something, and truly being seen and how we see each other with care and compassion. And as this discussion of like safety for whom keeps coming up, that's such an important distinction to me, is like, are we seeing people as a threat or are we seeing people as members of our community?
Yeah, I feel kind of yucky about it, which is not helpful and constructive a word to use. But I understand the concerns being raised of like, is this partnership going in the direction we want it to? And if we're not so sure, then deferral makes a lot of sense. Like, Merry Christmas, let's reset. I hope that it's still on the table to make it the best for all. But if it's not, then sounds like she's got some plans.
She has some plans for the new year.
I just wish the mayor's office would treat us like adults about all of this, right? Like, well, you don't understand. No, it's misinformation. Well, see, you're not really getting it. Just tell us what this is, why you're doing it. If there has been a threat from the state, like get downtown surveillance or else, just tell us. We can handle it. We're all grown-ups here.
It feels like a Trojan horse. We know how that played out.
Refresh.
Right. Okay, well, so there's obviously a lot more to come in the new year. These surveillance discussions are not going away here in Nashville.
No, what is dead may never die.
Just two more quick Metro moments. The ethics complaint that was filed against Councilmember Rollin Horton after he successfully upzoned areas in the Nations to allow for more density has been tossed out by the Board of Ethical Conduct. A group called Voices of District 20 accused Rollin of engaging in a sustained campaign of intimidation, harassment, doxing, and interference. Metro Legal determined that accusations in the complaint don't rise to the level of official misconduct set out in the city's code. Whitney, is this over now?
No, I don't think it is. I think that this group of people has been very upset by all of this. And we know that they're not alone. We know that there are people all over Nashville who are really, really worried about what the boogeyman of density will do to their neighborhoods. I am hoping now that council has passed all of planning's new zoning district laws, including this week, the last one, which was to sort of reduce the height allowances for residential buildings and neighborhoods. I'm hoping that once these things start to be implemented, people will see that it's not ruining their lives.
And finally, Axios had a story yesterday about the ongoing debate surrounding the future of the Fairgrounds racetrack. Our city's charter was amended in 2011 to include language saying the fairgrounds must host auto racing.
I wish you could see Celia's face. She just did like the ferret.
A new coalition is proposing a referendum to remove the language from the charter and replace it with language including affordable and or workforce housing as a required use for the property. Whitney, how is this different from previous groups who've proposed similar ideas?
Well, it's a pretty notable group of people this time. I don't know how much difference that will make, but it includes former Metro Legal Director Saul Solomon and the Cumberland River Compact, because one of the parts of this whole fairground thing is what's going on with Browns Creek, which is like the most abused waterway we have in our city. It also has the support of District Council member Terry Vo. One person who's not included is John Ingram, who owns Nashville SC. He has yet to weigh in on this, but he's voiced significant concerns about NASCAR coming to the fairgrounds in the past. But, okay, here's what stood out to me about this Axios story. The statements from Mayor O'Connell that Axios included, it's not a priority for me, O'Connell said. It strikes me as a little bit of repeal and replace. I was struck that it is prescribing a use of affordable housing for what is today a community asset. He continued on to say, it would be like suggesting we tear down wave country and put affordable housing there. I have thoughts, but I'd love to hear from y'all. Is the racetrack the same as wave country?
Please tear down wave country and put in affordable housing. I don't know. What do you think, Celia?
My not so hot take as somebody who wants access in this city is that cars should rank lower in general and like entertainment. But I understand that like what powers the city a lot of times has to do with the activities people are choosing to spend their dollars on. And that makes for a great city too, right? It's not just music, it's sports, it's all the things. So I feel a little conflicted on this one, actually.
Cars should rank lower. This is not up for debate.
Than humans.
Across Metro Nashville, in every conceivable way, cars should rank lower.
That actually touches a lot of what we're talking about today.
It's like the whole thing, right? It's can we as humans afford to safely live in this city? And one of the most dangerous things we have is car culture, car supremacy, whether they're constrained to a racetrack going in a circle or everywhere else. I'm a lady, so I don't get cars.
I just don't even understand it, so I'm going to opt out of
I'm
this
just
conversation.
a
I don't get
small
cars.
girl. But I think it's incredibly off message for our affordable housing mayor to hear a bunch of people say, what if we put affordable housing there? And instead of saying, let's talk about it, he says, nah, throw your phones in the river.
BNA is bracing for heavy holiday travel, and recent history suggests it's gonna be a shit show. We can all remember the massive debacle that happened back in September, and then again just a couple weeks ago around Thanksgiving, where traffic jams left people stranded in their cars for hours and passengers walking along the interstate to make their flights. In response, the Nashville Airport Authority says that they have taken short-term steps such as improving staffing, coordinating more closely with rideshare companies, and real-time traffic monitoring. However, several officials argue that these measures won't be enough without significant changes involving public transportation. Councilmember Sean Parker told the Nashville Banner how he thinks increasing the frequency of the bus line could help passengers, especially tourists, and people who work at BNA to get to the airport faster.
Shout out District 5. That's my council member, and I completely agree. We've been talking about this for months. Can we just have a bus? It can be a party bus. It could have kegs on it. We don't care. Just run it every 15 minutes.
Isn't there one? Did I just see somebody shared this, that there's one from Franklin? Like
Yes.
Williamson County has a bus that like is cush and like you park at a hotel and but what about downtown?
BNA
Right,
Chief
shout
Flights
out.
was posting about that, right?
That's
Andrea
right.
was.
She did it. It showed how easy it was.
She did that?
Yeah.
I was like, that's rad. I would do that from Madison if I could. But I mean, wow, eureka.
Well, Alex Apple, who's the Deputy Communications Director and Press Secretary for the mayor's office, told the Banner as part of that same story that WeGo, Nashville Department of Transportation and Multimodal Infrastructure, and other Choose How You Move partners have begun conversations with BNA to look into ways that the city can improve access to the airport. But, Elon's going to fix it, right, Marie?
That's right. And I'm sad to sing this little jingle one last time this year, but what time is it?
Tunnel time.
Wipe away those tears, folks. Okay, for the last time this year, the Boring Company continues to jump through the hoops necessary to start work on their Tesla tunnels. And this week, they released their Music City Loop Environmental Impact Assessment and submitted a formal lease application to the Tennessee Department of Transportation. The assessment came from an independent third-party company called Davy Resource Group, who said they found mostly minimal to positive environmental impacts. Whitney, what do you think of the assessment they released?
Oh, it's so fascinating. It really reminds me of the assessment that the Titans released from the company that was like, yes, you definitely need a new stadium. It was conducted by this Davy Resource Group, and I looked them up. They're an arm of Davy Tree Experts, which is the largest employee-owned company in Ohio, and they provide scientifically based horticultural and environmental services. If you look at their website, they have a portfolio, and it's a lot of really lovely tree trimming and grounds maintenance. They also help clear trees after disasters, like they were in Nashville. So they seem like extremely nice people. And I read their assessment. Let's start here by saying it talks a lot about the Rosa Parks hole, because right now that's the only hole that's in existence. And a lot of the other sites that have been proposed, like they don't have permits for, or they don't know what they're doing with them yet. So it talks a lot about Rosa Parks, and it says a lot of things about how, well, there won't be noise pollution at Rosa Parks because there's already like a train and a lot of cars going by. They mentioned a very nice thing that I guess happened where First Baptist Capitol Hill, which is the church that's right next door to the hole, they were going to have a choir practice. And they went over and said, could you guys not rumble during our choir practice? And the Boring Company said, sure. Like, that's lovely, right? Let's try taking that at scale.
Excuse me, I'm recording a podcast. Could you please pause for 1 second?
Other things in the assessment that stood out to me, they mentioned that institutional and construction activities conducted at the Boring Company will be performed in accordance with the Boring Company's written safety program. To that I say, how's that been going so far in Las Vegas?
Toxic sludge. A lot of toxic sludge, some
Yes.
OSHA.
That's the correct answer.
Good.
Okay, then on page 19, I liked this part. Groundwater intrusion into the tunnel during initial drilling activities is a potential concern, especially when tunneling through karst areas in the Big Buchanan Formation. And the solution there is it's okay, they'll figure it out as they go.
Which is the same as my life plan.
Yeah.
So I get it. And I totally endorse that.
Yeah.
YOLO.
We'll see as we go. The path will just fall before you.
Surf the wave in front of you. And then the last thing I wanted to call out, I did not read all 149 pages of this because I am trying
I'm
to
shocked you
establish
didn't, Whitney,
I'm trying to
because that
establish
seems
work-life
like-
balance. I went to Zoolumination and took my picture with Santa instead.
Bless.
Okay, here's the last thing that stood out to me. The proposed boring tunnel crown will be approximately 25 feet below the depth of the Cumberland River bed. At this depth, localized solution-enhanced features may be present within the bedrock, as is typical for the region. What does that mean?
Solution enhanced features. They're talking about like the natural materials.
Like-
What do they mean?
Places where they need more they need to enhance their solutions, like limestone that sometimes has sinkholes. I don't know.
That's what I was hearing.
But
kind of
don't
like,
worry, they're going to select a depth that, quote, avoids unfavorable zones. I can see by your faces that you are sold.
Is it
my
supposed to be
stomach.
confusing? We're just supposed to be like, all right, if you say so.
All right. Well, so Tunnel Time 2025 is behind us. And this is a developing story that we're going to be covering all year next year as well. And we're hoping to have David Figler from CityCast Las Vegas back with us in January to get us all caught up on everything. This has taken so much of our attention this year, but
So
Celia,
much.
So much so that you have a jingle.
we have a jingle. Celia, you're a normal person. What were the biggest stories of the year for you?
As a quote unquote, very generous, normal person, you're dubbing me. What would impact me, one I've kind of forgotten about and came back across, is the reopening of the library after that fire.
Yes.
Remember that
And
one
actually-
time they blew up the library?
Right. And actually, when you were just touching on safety downtown, and it brought me around to access and like who's doing what and who can afford to participate in the economy, both as consumers and, to invest. I know there was initiatives for parking for musicians and all that. I can't speak to all of like where we are with that. But as a person of limited income, the library lot was still my go-to for years and years. It's only gone up incrementally as all the other parking is wild. I hate that the library garage is still shut, but it's the library itself, which is the hub. And granted, I'm so biased because I think public radio is also a mark of a great and healthy city. Public library systems are. And if you can't have your downtown headquarters opened up for half of a year or more, especially as we're going into all of this cold weather, I'm concerned about that. That's more than an inconvenience for me as somebody who wants to pay $15 instead of $30 for parking. It's actually like an access issue to quiet spaces, safe spaces, warm spaces, that it really bothers me that we're not further along in fixing this.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure there's more, but the library fire is like, it's like...
No, that was a mic drop moment right there for you.
Yeah.
It's a bummer. It's a bummer, but it's more than a bummer as it's like more concerns going into this. And I understand we want to do this right as far as cleaning it up. They were initially going to, I think I was looking at a report from WPLN, our sister station, that they were trying to open up portions of the library. And then they realized, okay, there's still some damage and it's a health concern. Totally get that. Do it the right way. But like, I'm tapping my watch.
Celia, the reason why you're here and joining us today is to talk music because you know it best. And how exciting for us to live in Music City, USA. And that means
Exciting.
It is exciting. It's why a lot of people live here. There's a music coming out of our beautiful city every single year. And y'all actually broke it down. WNXP has dropped their top 10 favorite albums of 2025. And Celia, we cannot wait to hear what you have for us.
Well, I'll tell you a little bit inside baseball because we're so thorough as a very small team, which means code for as a small team. You deliberate everything to the nth degree. And then you're like, at some point you make a decision. We have done top like year-end lists for years since we've been around. But we decided in the last couple years, because some of the biggest records made anywhere were by Nashville artists, that we wanted to pull those out. So some of these, maybe all of them, that are on our top 10 favorite Nashville records of 2025 would probably also be on our overall list, but we wanted to give them special shine. So just pointing people to our site, wnxp.org, you will find 2 Best of 2025 lists. The top 10 one is our ranked Nashville artists list, which is also like really exemplary of how our station sounds, like really diverse. You got up and comers, you got Black Keys, like, established artists, young artists, artists of color. And I was really proud of how the cookie crumbled with that list in particular, even though superstar Hayley Williams is at the top because it's great.
Yes. Did you have a favorite Nashville album?
I love Annie DeRusso's Super Pedestrian. I think the Nashville scene just gave her a nod to for Best Rock Record. I mean, full disclosure, I got to spend time with her. She was our Nashville Artist of the Month when she released it. So, you're a little biased when you get to hear behind the scenes how records were made and get to know the artist. But I think it holds up as a great rock record. Like those songs are still stuck in my craw some 9 months later in a good way.
Ann Powers from NPR Music also shouted her out during her year-end wrap-up with us earlier this week. So y'all should go check that out, give it a listen, because we included a sample of Annie DeRusso, and she sounds to me like early aughts Liz Phair.
Oh, 1,000%. It's a strong, full-length debut, but she's been dropping hot singles for years, and now it's like, no, welcome to the world, Annie DeRusso. Like, here I am. It's so great. So she's finding more and more fans everywhere, and we're really proud.
And then, Celia, you're always out there. Was there a concert that you saw this year that really stood out?
Because you didn't localize that question, I have to use my pulpit to talk about the Oasis reunion. It was like the headline. It was the headline of my whole year. Sorry, you're going to cut this out.
Where did you see Oasis?
We're not going to cut it out. It's just my opportunity to seethe with jealousy.
Oh, I thought you were going to groan about it.
Seethe with jealousy.
Not Whitney Pastrick.
People have said this is like Era's tour for grown white dudes, and I'm like, I am grown white dude, right? Like I am dude who never got to see Oasis before, and so I never thought this would happen, and it became my whole personality since I got the tickets for a Scotland show last August.
You went to Scotland.
I did. I built
much.
a whole trip around it. Listen, I'm still paying myself back, and probably will be, but like, back to our original YOLO.
Yeah, right?
But that was my biggest musical moment amid a lot of great local shows, too.
That's amazing. Celia, I really want to thank you for everything that you do for music in this city. Ann Powers also gave y'all a shout out. I mean, Hayley Williams' biggest record of the year, right? This is inextricably linked to y'all's station. You debuted the tracks right here in Nashville on WNXP. But it's not just that. It's the live events that you put on. Like, there are so many ways that y'all build community here. And we know that it has been a really crappy year for public radio. So I just want to encourage everybody out there in podcast land that if you want to go to WNXP and set up even a small recurring donation to them, it would go a really long way. So that's just me kissing up to Celia so that she'll give me free tickets to Oasis when they come to Nashville.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's so equivalent. Is that payola? What does that mean when it's a podcast versus a DJ? No, I do want to thank you for that because I get really woo-woo about it. Coming in at the ground level 5 years ago, we just turned 5. We believe in this city that's growing, and sometimes it feels like growing beyond us, like, let me grasp for the good stuff, being something that's new, but can also like gather sort of the best of the old and the natives and also the up and comers. And it feels more than radio. It's not just terrestrial radio. It is more of like a gathering hub. And that's what we're trying to be without being too big for our britches, as my mom might say. So thanks for noticing that in addition to a sick playlist, which we do boast, it's about getting people together and offering slivers of like hope and community, and even if it's just over a silly little, song or two. So thanks for noticing that.
Absolutely.
And we look forward to more in 2026.
Yeah.
Well, Maria, after this lovely moment, did you want to switch gears?
This article caught my eye in the Tennessean. It was titled "Nashville Dating is a Dumpster Fire. Here's what the survivors say." So 20-something journalist Audrey Gibbs was just trying to answer the simple question, is Nashville the problem or is it us? Celia, what's your hot take on this? Is it Nashville or is it us?
Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm laughing that the segue was from me being like so pro gathering and like finding your people.
Right.
Because like, hey, tell me how that's going for you. And Audrey struck a nerve because it was like so real. And I think I'm talking about this with folks that are, in my peer group, which is a little older than her, but like there is some interesting parallel there of like how Nashville can feel small and big at the same time. And all I will say is that I moved here at a very different time for Nashville, but also I was partnered as a young person moving to Nashville. So dating in Nashville is a very recent development for me in my late 30s and early 40s. So I feel like I'm not the best person to ask, and yet there are dozens of us that are in my situation too.
Dozens.
Out here trying to be like, what?
Speaking as a 50-year-old single woman here in Nashville, I actually think there might only be dozens of me. Everybody is married. Everybody is partnered. I spent my weekend third and fifth wheeling around this town.
I've gotten pretty good at it, honestly.
I'm great at it, but there are times where I'm like, do I really have to tap dance? Like, I just wish for there to be more single people. So please, if you're experiencing a dumpster fire, come sit with me. We can all hang out.
We can be the dogs at the table with the fire behind us saying, it is fine.
Everything's fine with our cup of coffee. That's my life.
Well, I'm going to be producing a full-blown Valentine's episode on dating horror stories in Nashville. So be sure to tune into that in
Sounds
February.
like you should reach out to Audrey about that.
Actually, maybe I will. I've also gotten a lot of responses via Instagram when I posted on our social media. So it's going to be a fun one. I just love the one woman that was like, I'm not going to find my husband at Mother's Ruin. And then everybody on Instagram was like, don't bring mom into it. How dare you? Plenty of people find love at Mother's Ruin. Anyway, so maybe we won't be going on dates this weekend, but what are other things?
We got a Santa rave at Brooklyn Bowl tonight. I don't know what that is, but it sounds
Talk about a hotbed for singles.
Yeah, use protection for sure.
Keep your candy canes wrapped, kids. The Nashville Flea Market is at the fairgrounds all weekend if you still need to do some shopping. Marie, what are you excited to do tomorrow?
Tomorrow, we're actually gathering with our CityCast Nashville neighbors to volunteer together. So that's going to be a really fun event. Also, VHS Christmas Carol is at the Barbershop Theater. Still tickets available. We have some friends in the show, so definitely check that out. And, this is what's so exciting. Butcher and Bee is having their annual Hanukkah feast on Saturday night.
Sunday. Daniel would like you to go see the Titans play the Kansas City Chiefs, which should have been a blowout for the Kansas City Chiefs. But now Patrick Mahomes has blown out his knee. See what I did there? So I don't know. Mm-hmm. Maybe the fake Oilers have a chance. Daniel is now ringing in my ear. Daniel, yes, your thoughts? He's saying that was a low blow, much like the blow that Patrick Mahomes took to his knee. That blew out his ACL.
Are you burying the lead that like people might be going with their dads and husbands and brothers to maybe see Taylor? Do you think she'll go to the game?
We've been talking about this for months.
I was trying to find someone to bring me as their date to see Taylor Swift at the show, but
the show that is the football game, that is the show that we hope to see her on
I've only been to
screen.
the Titan Stadium to see the Eras Tour. So I thought maybe I would go back and see if she's there again.
All right. It's also the final night for the Messiah at the Schermerhorn on Sunday. So if you haven't gotten your Hallelujah chorus on yet, go do that, even though that song's actually about Easter. And then I want to shout out Heart at the Pinnacle.
So good. Y'all, I saw Anne a few years ago at the Basement East, which is a huge underplay, right? And she is still so powerful. So I can imagine them together. It's just going to be like, they're timeless.
I'm glad they've resolved their differences. And I would like to asterisk this for anybody in my age bracket. That is an all-seated show. So come on out.
I was actually going to say that the Pinnacle opening was one of my sort of big news stories of the year, just because it did change, filling that gap between Ryman size and Ascend size before the leap to Bridgestone size. It's been interesting. They're booking, and I do no kickbacks here from the Pinnacle. I'm a paying customer to almost every show, but it's really been interesting to have that right downtown and see the sorts of legacy acts like you're talking, and then all sorts of cool rock shows, dance shows, and the like.
Just remember to buy your booze outside. It's half price. Don't buy your booze inside. Tailgate.
Pro tip.
Well, Celia, again, thank you so much for joining us to end out the year with such a special guest. This has been a real treat.
And with all your found time next week, I'm sure you're just going to be tuned to WNXP. We're playing holiday music basically through Christmas Day. So if that's your thing,
we will be there. Just want to say, since this is our last Friday News Roundup of the year, hey, listeners, thank you for everything you have done for CityCast Nashville this year. We just can't thank you enough for supporting us, naming us Best Podcast, excuse me.
Yeah.
We can't wait to spend more time with you in the new year. You can always email us, share your stories, tell us what you think we should be talking about at Nashville@citycast.fm. And then that's it. We done.
We done. Oh, wait, Whitney. We actually have a couple CityCast Nashville neighbors we have to shout out that recently joined that we haven't, lifted up yet. Jessica P, Brett M, Lindsay L, Evelyn T, Dougal B, Jessica M, Carrie H, welcome to the neighborhood. Thank you all so
Welcome
much
to the
for joining
neighborhood, y'all.
CityCast neighbors.
We're going to have a great 2026 together. All right.
That's
Let's
right.
get the hell out of here. Let's go have
All
a
right.
weekend.
Happy New Year. Happy holidays. Happy everything.
Yes.
We love you.
Glad tidings.
That's all for today here on CityCast Nashville. And don't forget, you can support this show and get great perks by becoming a CityCast Nashville neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. I'm your host, Marie Cecile Anderson. Our executive producer is Whitney Pasterek. Our producer is Daniel Sumstein. Our Hey Nashville newsletter editor is Margaret Kingsbury. And our theme music is by Prof Jenkins, with additional music by Arturum Krasnobayev, Tambor, and Rosedale from Triple Scoop Music via Getty Images, and Hip Color courtesy of EpidemicSound.com. If you enjoyed the show, why not tell your friends, rate the show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our Hey Nashville newsletter. We'll be back Monday morning with more news from around the city. Toodles!